Welcome to the Mike Kellar Show. Coach, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Coach. Per the usual, your thoughts, reaction on Saturday's win?
Nice win, road win. Anytime you can get a road win in the Mountain East Conference, you're happy with that. Wheeling was playing really well going into the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we talked about it a week ago, had a couple big wins, and I think they had a little bit of momentum. And for us to come out and start hot like we did and kind of control the game early was huge for us. And then we controlled the game early and hung on late. Kind of sums up the day.
And you mentioned starting out hot. I mean, the first two drives, scored back-to-back drives. I mean, you ran some trickery a little bit. Yeah. Offense looked really good. What was just working so well for them?
I mean, who knows? I mean, it's just we've had some issues obviously this season, and we've been working on it every week. And there's times in practice where I watch us and think, my God, we are really going to be humming this. And there's other times where we struggle. So I think when defensively, we got a lot of seniors and a lot of guys who played a lot of ball. Offensively, there's like a group that's played a lot together, and there's some really new pieces in there, especially at the skill position, some of the young receivers. So trying to get that, everyone on the same page has kind of been a tough thing for us all season long. But they came together Saturday and executed really well.
No, on the defense side of the ball, I mean, Wheeling didn't get past the 50-yard line until their last drive of the first half.
Yeah.
You forced 2 turnovers, including the game-sealing sack fumble. Yeah. What did you like out of the defense?
I think they played the way they've been playing. I mean, they started out really well. We had a little bit of a lull there in the third quarter, but both sides. We talked about as a staff this morning, that offensively and defensively we really struggled in the third quarter for God knows whatever reason that was, but didn't execute at a high level. But early on in the game, I mean, we moved the ball really well, and then the defense played the way they've been playing. And then they got the score. They did nerve me up a little bit when they got the score right before the half because I knew they were getting the ball. We were up 21-0. I know they get a score. Makes it 21-7, and they get the ball coming out of the half. Our defense played really well at the beginning part of the third quarter, and we had some short fields and didn't take advantage of them on offense. And had a touchdown called back, could have put the game away. Had what would have been a long field goal attempt that I was really kind of, did we get that? Our defense is playing so well. Do we kick it from here and you kind of and take a chance of getting it blocked and put our defense in a bad situation? So we had some chances to put the game away in the third quarter and didn't do it, and that's kind of disheartening. But we did find a way to win. And
now looking at West Virginia State. Started out the year 5-1. They're 6-3 now, coming off a big win against Frostburg State, kind of catching them as well at a bad spot of the year. Your thoughts on West Virginia State?
Seems like everyone's playing well when they come to playoffs, right?
Yeah.
State. I've watched them all day yesterday. Been watching them today. I mean, a very good football team. Offensively, it's your typical State bunch of really skilled, football team playing 2 different quarterbacks right now. I don't know if that's an injury thing or if they saw something they need to see, but the kid came in and played really well Saturday. Running game, got 3 backs that all carry the ball and could do some things with it, and then they'll split them out wide and get and make some hay with it. So they're a very good offensive football team. Defensively, it plays off it's kind of very similar to their offense. Their secondary is excellent. I mean, they could cover, they can do some things to you. Their front seems like it's the same kids year in, year out that I see on their deal. Well coached football team. We have them here, but we're going to have to play well to beat them.
Yeah. And kind of the MO that we talked about all year. Really good backs. This time they got 2 800+ yard rushers.
Yeah.
What kind of dynamic can that bring? With them bringing 2 good backs.
I was telling Coach Hill. It reminds me when I played here. They play 7 and 5 Felder and the other kid. When I was here, we had Kevin Blanding and Shane Haddix. And when Kevin wasn't playing in the backfield, which was a lot, he played in the slot. They kind of do the same thing with the Felder kid, number 7 for them. So it kind of reminds me of the way we did it here when I played with Coach Rodriguez. And they're keeping those 2 guys on the field, and it makes it tough on your game playing wise because you never know, what set they're in, how they're using it. Because you can't just look and say when this kid's in the game they do this, or when this kid's in the game they play them together a lot.
And then on the defense side of the ball, they've had a few high-scoring games, get up 62 to UNCP. You mentioned the secondary, but just as a whole, what have you seen out of their defense?
UNCP scores 60 against everybody. But down there they score 60, and then up here they're not as good at it. No, their defense very good with coverage, multiple fronts, multiple coverage team. Not that different than the last couple of defenses we played as far as the scheme goes. They run to the football. They're going to know what we do. They'll know our tendencies inside and out with our sets, and we just got to execute. If we execute a high level, I've always thought this 30 years, if you execute at a high level, things take care of themselves. If you're not, and they force you to execute, State doesn't give you anything. They force you to execute at a high level.
And then setting the scene for this weekend, whoever wins gets sole possession of second place in the league. It's Nobles' first time being 5-2 in the league at this point since the Mountain East formed. What's your feelings, expectations going into Saturday?
Well, it just shows. I mean, we had a tough start at the beginning of the year with our conference, and then, then won a couple games in conference. Then we had a really, really hard stretch of games right there. And then to come out of that and be in the position we're in right now tells you a little bit about the character of our team. It's really what I always thought our team was made of. You know, it's hard to stand up for them and say that after you get beat some of the games you did, but I always knew that we had a high character team, and I think State does as well. It ought to be a true test for both teams on Saturday.
Well, Coach, thank you for coming on.
I appreciate you.
Thanks for watching the Mike Kellar Show.